Today I'm in Velez, Colombia. It is a little town on the, it's kind of on the, it's in Santander, but it's kind of like not far from Boyacá border. Today I want to talk about something that seems to be a question in all the Facebook groups, in all of the, anywhere you're searching online. People are like, how do I find somewhere to live? How do you buy a place? How do you find a place to live in Colombia specifically, since that's where I am? So I'm going to talk about it a little bit as I'm giving you a little tour of this town. Velez is known for bocadillo. This is where they make it. There's lots of factories here. It's a sweet, delicious treat that is made here. First of all, if you're thinking about moving to Colombia and you're thinking about moving into the rural areas, I recommend you... Gracias. Sí, no, está bien, gracias. Acá.
Se ve bonita.
Sí, en la arriba esta.
Parece allá en esta esquina y se ve toda esa hermosura hacia allá. Si quiere camino yo se la tomo.
No, está bien. Yo solo grabando en este momento. Sí, pero muchísimas gracias.
¿Tú eres de dónde?
Soy de Estados Unidos.
Estados Unidos.
Sí.
Qué bien, el que viste a tierra veleña es el veleño.
Sí.
Bienvenida a Vélez.
Ay, muchísimas gracias.
Qué
Sí.
bien. Yo tengo familia allá en los Estados Unidos, en Miami.
En Miami,
Y
ok.
una sobrina.
Ok.
Y no me acuerdo en cuál otro estado vive un sobrino, un primo, una prima vive en Orlando City, viven tres allá.
Wow, ¿tú visitaron o no?
No, nunca he querido ir algún día allá.
Ok, un día,
conocer.
sí, para visitar es muy, Florida es muy bonito. So what is the best way to find somewhere to live, to buy in rural Colombia? First of all, you need to visit where you're going. End of story. That's why I've been traveling to all these small pueblos. I'm at least showing you what else is out there besides the big cities, as well as when you are here. So I just have been sitting here recording. There is a house for sale across from me. I'll show you the sign in a minute. But as I was sitting here recording, I'll show you a little clip of it. Some guy stops to talk to me and asks me where I'm from, what I'm doing here, if he wants to take a photo of me in front of like a better view. Anyways, he is chatting. Hola, buenos días. Then I see there's a house for sale across the way, but then we get to chatting and he says he lives here, he lives on a farm, and he would like to invite me, and I always have a boyfriend when I'm traveling. It's always a smart thing to say. So I said, you know, ma'am, I'll have to ask my boyfriend. And he was like, okay, yeah. So I took his number, and then I started asking about like land for sale around here. He's like, yeah, there's one right next to me for sale. If you come to my house, I'll show you and you can see if you like it, and then, you know, welcome to Velez. So that is the best way to find property in Colombia. Is you need to walk around these little towns. You need to take pictures of all the ones. They all say se vende, or if you were looking to rent, say arrienda, and even if there's a house you see in like the countryside and it looks empty, you just ask around. So Colombia is a lot of word of mouth. You're not gonna find anything online. You're not gonna find them in these groups. If you do, they're usually being sold by people who have like agencies working for them. But also the side note of buying property here in Colombia is it can be a bit tricky. So when you buy, you need to make sure they have papers. Because if they do not have the paper, that means the person who has been living there doesn't technically own it, so they're probably not paying the taxes. So it's technically owned by the Colombian government, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a realtor, but that's just what I've read. So if it doesn't have the papers, it's going to be a little bit harder, but you can probably still do it with a lawyer, with help, and you have to pay the liens and the fees and everything. But it's not technically legal, really. So also, buying here in Colombia, you do need to know people. So like if I said I want to buy a house, they're going to say, oh, do you know somebody here? And now I have this guy's number. I met this guy on the street. I say, oh yeah, I know Carlos. You don't have to know them very good. I have his number. I know who he is. He told me where his sister lives, his brother lives. They all live here. He's like, yeah, you know me now. Welcome. If you want to buy something, no problem. I'll show you around, and you know me, because that's how it is here. You have to know somebody to get a good deal. And now you can pay gringo prices, which in these little towns like this, you're not going to get as ripped off as if you were buying in Medellin, for example. But it's going to be much better if you walk around, you snap signs. They're not all going to answer you either. These people who are selling aren't going to always answer. So that's one of the things here is people aren't going to always answer. You're going to have to keep calling and calling and calling. And then if you have a friend who's Colombian, even better, have them call because they're gonna answer. They're gonna talk to you. Like if I were to call, and they'd be like, what do you want? But if I meet people on the streets and then they help you and they show you the way, that is the best way. That is the best way to buy and find property here in rural Colombia. Is you get your butt out there, you walk around the towns, you let people see you, you start asking questions, you take pictures of every single sign you see, you take pictures of houses, you start going door to door and asking, do you know who owns a house? Is this for sale? Is it for rent? That's how it works. That's how, when I was living in San Carlos, that's how we got our house. There wasn't a sign on the thing. We'd start asking people. The guy said, I think there's houses for rent. People are living in them, but they're moving out. And we're like, okay. So we literally knocked on doors and asked people, and they're like, oh yeah, we're moving out this month. And we're like, oh, we want to rent it. And they're like, we're like, who's the owner? Who do we talk to? And that's exactly how you do it. So you have to put your feet on the ground. Okay? Okay.
Hágale, de pronto me llamas más tarde.
Más tarde, sí.
¿Y tu esposo dónde estás?
Está, sí, en Medellín en este momento. Sí, solo yo estoy acá. Porque yo quiero visitar Velez. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, my friend stopped by to talk to me again. I'm not gonna lie, I can't understand everything he says because they talk so fast here and I'm like still adjusting. Oh my goodness. It's gonna be definitely a challenge if I stay here, but I'm going to Medellin and the accent there is different. But yeah, so you want to buy property here, talk to random strangers. Everyone will come up to you. Obviously I stand out like a sore thumb, and yeah, you have to literally walk around, take photos, take numbers, call people, get to know people, and then you will find somewhere to live. That's why I'm in these small towns and I'm talking to people even in my broken Spanish, because some days my Spanish is good and some days, Lord have mercy, it is not. So yeah, so today I'm in Velez, and that is how to buy property, how to find property to buy in rural Colombia. I will see you in the next video. Bye.